Hi, I'm Avery. Track is my life. Or it was until 2 months ago. Three-time regional finalist in the 400 meters, captain of Westlake High's varsity team, and had a solid shot at a college scholarship. That was the plan anyway. Still timing yourself walking to the bathroom, freak? My brother Tyler loved to mock my training habits. He'd been home from college for summer break, which meant 3 months of looking over my shoulder. Leave your sister alone, Tyler. Dad would say it without looking up from his phone, the verbal equivalent of a shoulder shrug. Tyler had always been the golden child. Star quarterback, prom king, the whole package. When he put a dead frog in my backpack in 3rd grade, Mom called it boys being boys. When he replaced my shampoo with hair removal cream before homecoming, Dad said I should have checked the bottle. You need to lighten up, Avery, Mom would say. Your brother's just playing around. Some playing. Last month, he put laxatives in my pre-meet protein shake. I spent my qualifying race running to the bathroom instead of the finish line. Coach was furious. Parents? They thought it was hilarious. It's called having a sense of humor, Tyler said at dinner that night, high-fiving Dad. I was in my room studying for finals when I heard Tyler outside my door. That familiar snicker that always meant trouble. Hey, Avery, Mom wants you downstairs. He was smiling too wide. Tell her I'll be down in 5. Something felt off, but with finals and track championships coming up, I didn't have time for paranoia. When I finally sat at my desk later that night, I heard a crack. Before I could process what was happening, I was on the floor, white-hot pain shooting up my spine. Tyler! I screamed, knowing immediately. He appeared in my doorway, laughing so hard he was wheezing. Should have seen your face. Mom and Dad came running up. What happened? She fell out of her chair. Tyler was still laughing. He loosened all the screws. I was fighting back tears from the pain. Dad examined the chair. Looks like it just broke. These things happen. Always so dramatic, Avery, Mom sighed, helping me up as I winced. You're fine. But I wasn't fine. My lower back felt like someone had taken a sledgehammer to it. Mom reluctantly gave me some ibuprofen before they all went back downstairs. That night, I couldn't sleep. The pain was throbbing, constant. 2 days later, I noticed something scarier. I couldn't feel my right foot properly. It was like static on an old TV, all pins and needles. You okay? You're limping, Zoe asked at school. Just slept weird, I lied. I didn't tell anyone about the numbness spreading up my leg. They already thought I was dramatic. Besides, it would probably go away on its own. It didn't. By the next week, my right leg was dragging during morning practice. I kept stumbling on the track, missing steps that used to be automatic. Again, Avery! What's with you today? Coach Martinez blew her whistle as I crossed the finish line last. Again. Sorry, Coach, just tired. She pulled me aside while the others did cool-down stretches. You've been just tired for days now, and that limp is getting worse, not better. It's nothing. Nothing doesn't make my top runner drop 3 seconds in a week. Is it your back from that fall? I froze. How'd you know about that? Zoe mentioned it. Said your brother messed with your chair? It's fine. Mom and Dad already said I'm being dramatic. Coach Martinez frowned. Well, I'm not saying that. I'm saying get it checked out. No practice until you do. I tried arguing, but she wouldn't budge. I was benched. At home, I couldn't hide it anymore. Dinner meant stairs, and stairs had become my enemy. What's taking so long? Mom called up. Each step sent lightning through my spine. Halfway down, my leg just stopped working. I tumbled forward, barely catching myself on the railing. Tyler snorted from the dining room. Walk much? My leg. I can't feel it properly. My voice shook. Dad sighed dramatically. Is this because Coach Martinez benched you? We got an email. No! I got benched because something's wrong. Ever since Tyler broke my chair? Oh my God, still with the chair? Tyler rolled his eyes. It was 2 weeks ago. Move on. Coach thinks I need to see a doctor. Mom crossed her arms. Avery, enough. You're not missing school for some imaginary injury because you're afraid of losing your spot on the team. It's not imaginary. I was shouting now. I literally can't feel my right leg. Then how did you walk down here? Dad challenged. I couldn't make them understand. They never believed me over Tyler. The next day at lunch, it happened again. Zoe and I were walking to our usual table when my legs just quit. I collapsed, tray clattering across the cafeteria floor. Avery, what's wrong? Zoe knelt beside me, panicked. I couldn't stop the tears. I can't feel them, Zoe. My legs, they're just gone. She helped me to the nurse's office, but the school nurse just called my parents, who predictably said I was being dramatic. This has gone far enough, Zoe declared after school. My mom's picking us up. We're going to urgent care. My parents will kill me. They'll get over it when they realize you're actually hurt. The urgent care doctor, Dr. Phillips, took one look at my symptoms and ordered tests. This pressure response is concerning. You need an MRI immediately. Where are your parents? They don't believe me. Let me call them. He stepped out, returning with a grim expression. They're on their way, but they're resistant. When they arrived, the explosion was nuclear. This attention-seeking has gone too far, Dad shouted. Sir, Dr. Phillips interrupted, your daughter shows signs of potential spinal cord compression. Without immediate imaging. She's always been like this, Mom cut in. First, it's stomach aches before tests. Now this. We're not authorizing expensive tests for her latest drama, Dad declared. We're taking her home. I looked desperately at Dr. Phillips as they practically dragged me out. His troubled eyes were the last thing I saw before the doors closed behind us. The morning after the urgent care disaster, I could barely get out of bed. Mom had to practically carry me to the car. You've made your point, Avery. This is getting ridiculous. I couldn't even argue anymore. The numbness had spread to both legs now. First period was calculus. I remember Miss Warren writing equations on the board, then nothing. Just darkness. I woke up to fluorescent lights and sirens. Zoe's tear-streaked face hovered above me. Stay with me, Avery. The ambulance is here. At the hospital, everything happened at warp speed. No waiting for parental permission this time. It was a medical emergency. Suspected spinal cord compression, the ER doctor announced. Get her into MRI stat. I remember the machine's thunderous noise as it scanned my broken body. When they wheeled me out, a stern-faced doctor was waiting. I'm Dr. Chen, head of neurology. We've identified the issue. My parents burst in, faces pale. For once, they looked scared instead of annoyed. What's happening to our daughter? Dad demanded. Dr. Chen pulled up images on a screen. Your daughter has severe spinal cord compression from vertebral displacement. Based on the scans, this injury occurred approximately 2 weeks ago. From the chair, I whispered. The injury itself isn't uncommon, Dr. Chen continued. But what is deeply concerning is the delay in treatment. 2 weeks with these symptoms. We're looking at potential permanent damage that could have been prevented. We didn't know, Mom began. According to urgent care records, you were explicitly informed of the risks yesterday and refused diagnostic testing. Dr. Chen's voice was ice. I've documented this as a case of medical neglect. Neglect? Dad sputtered. That's outrageous. Is it? Your daughter reported symptoms consistent with spinal injury, was examined by a physician who recommended immediate testing, and you refused. That's textbook neglect. A hospital administrator entered with a clipboard. As mandated reporters, we've filed with Child Protective Services and local authorities. 3 days later, while I was recovering from emergency surgery, Zoe burst into my hospital room waving her phone. You're all over the news! Teen athlete's spinal injury ignored until collapse. Parents and brother under investigation. The story spread like wildfire. Local stations camped outside the hospital. A reporter named Kendra Williams did a special investigation on medical neglect. Tyler visited first, eyes red. Look, Avery, I never meant for this to happen. It was just supposed to be funny, you know? Funny? I might never run again. I said I'm sorry. What more do you want? I want the last 2 weeks of my life back. I want my legs back. Get out. Mom and Dad came next, bearing gifts and tearful apologies. We should have listened, Mom cried. We feel terrible. You feel terrible? I can't feel anything below my waist. You only believe me now because there are consequences for you. We're still your parents, Dad insisted. We made a mistake. Families forgive. No, I said, looking straight at them. Some things don't deserve forgiveness. Dr. Chen walked in, ending the conversation. Time for your physical therapy evaluation. Your family needs to leave. As they shuffled out, I didn't feel sad. I felt free. My story blew up overnight. What started as local news became a national conversation about medical neglect and family accountability. Kendra Williams from Channel 7 came back for a follow-up interview 3 weeks after my surgery. How does it feel knowing your case might change how people view parental medical decisions? Honestly, I wish it hadn't taken all this for someone to just believe me. I gestured to the wheelchair I was now using. The doctors say I might walk again, but running? That dream's gone. The day Tyler appeared in court for the reckless endangerment charges, I insisted on being there. He couldn't even look at me as the judge read the charges. How do you plead? Guilty, Your Honor. His voice was barely audible. He got 6 months probation, community service at a spinal injury center, and a permanent record. The golden boy's shine had finally worn off. My parents faced their own reckoning with Child Protective Services. The investigation was brutal. Did you regularly dismiss Avery's concerns in favor of your sons? The CPS investigator didn't sugarcoat anything. We didn't realize, Dad started. That wasn't the question, Mr. Thompson. Their friends stopped calling. Dad's business partners distanced themselves. Mom's PTA leadership position quietly went to someone else. Meanwhile, I threw myself into physical therapy with Dr. Mason. Push a little more, Avery. That's it. It hurts like hell. Pain means nerve function. That's good news. Small victories became everything. Wiggling toes, standing for 30 seconds, taking 3 steps with a walker. My Aunt Catherine drove 6 hours to visit me in the hospital. You're coming to live with me when you're discharged. No arguments. What about Mom and Dad? They had their chance to be parents. My turn now. Living with Aunt Catherine changed everything. She came to every therapy appointment, modified her house for wheelchair access, and never once suggested I was exaggerating my pain. Kendra stayed in touch, documenting my recovery for a special series on medical advocacy. Your story is making waves, Avery. 3 states are reviewing their medical consent laws for minors with suspected abuse or neglect. Will it actually change anything? It already has. A girl in Ohio with symptoms similar to yours got immediate treatment because her teacher remembered your case. 1 year after the fall, I rolled my wheelchair into Westlake High's career day. As a presenter, not a student. Hi everyone, I'm Avery Thompson, founder of Believe Teens Advocacy Network. Last year, a prank left me partially paralyzed, and the adults who should have protected me didn't believe my pain was real. Students who'd once been my classmates watched in stunned silence as I shared my journey and the nonprofit I'd started with Kendra's help. My family? Tyler transferred colleges, started over where no one knew his name. My parents divorced under the strain. Dad moved states away. Mom still sends birthday cards I don't open. Last week, I took 10 steps unassisted in therapy. Small victory, huge milestone. My life isn't what I planned, but it's mine now. No one calls me dramatic anymore. No one dismisses my pain. And that victory, painful as it was to win, is the one that matters most. Would you have completely cut ties with your family like Avery did? Or do you believe some relationships are worth trying to repair even after severe betrayal? Is there a line that once crossed can never be uncrossed? Or is forgiveness always possible with time? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If Avery's story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe to see more powerful stories of overcoming adversity. Your support helps us continue sharing these important stories that need to be told.